It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Marty Smith, ESPN. You were talking a minute ago, Burton, about how I'm right in the middle.
No, there you go.
Hey, buddy.
You didn't have your tie on, sorry.
Ask Utter, I look like a banker and not a media guy. Anyway, you were talking about how hard it is and how rare these wins are. They don't come very often. 10 years ago, you were going to be the guy, right? And you were winning a lot and having a ton of success. And I wonder if winning now feels any different for you. How does it feel different? And how much more do you respect it and appreciate it than maybe you did when you were almost supposed to do it?
I appreciated it then because, Mark Martin was my teammate, and he taught me to appreciate it. And, I was, Mark Martin helped raise me as a race car driver at this level. And, he emphasized to me over and over and over that you never know when you're going to win another race. You win a race, it might be your last. I used to laugh at him. Not about me winning, but I used to laugh at him about him thinking he might not ever win again. I thought that was hilarious. But it's hard. And having been through I think when you like I said before, I didn't say it here, Ryan Newman and I had this conversation before the race. And he and I were obviously they're not having a great year and they're struggling, and I said, man, I know it's been hard, but keep digging, and he made the point. He said, when you come in and things go well, you just take for granted that's how it is. And not until it gets taken away do you realize, wow, this is hard, and this is so. They're all special. I definitely have a greater appreciation for it. The thing that stands out in my mind is Kilm and I left Pocono one day, and Earnhardt was struggling in '99, I guess it would have been, and there was a sticker on the back of somebody's van going down the interstate, and it said, Earnhardt, time to cash in the 401k. Now, here's a 7-time champion that, won however many races they won, and the next year went and almost won a championship. And, so, I hear today about Gordon. Jeff Gordon, he can't drive anymore. Guess what? Jeff Gordon can drive, and he hasn't forgot how to drive. He does not want to win. And I said in here the other day, it's ludicrous that thinks, he had a baby, so now he don't want to win anymore. I mean, it's insane. So it means a lot to me, having, being, Richard believing in me, asking me to be part of his corporate company. That means a lot to me. And I drive every lap with that appreciation. There was a time in my career where everybody wanted me, and then it wasn't long after that there wasn't many of the people that wanted me, and so that's a humbling experience to go through, and I guess we'll all go through it at some point in our life, but it's a humbling experience, and I don't. Part of the reason when I win a race, I don't get cocky and think everything is going to be great in the world, because I know there's a lot of challenges ahead of us, but I appreciate this win for what it is today, and come Monday, we'll start getting ready for Martinsville.
Question in the back, then we'll go to Claire and then Dustin. Go ahead.
This is for Richard. Mr. Childress, you've seen a lot of these championships won. How does Burton look? Does he look like he's in championship form right now?
I think they're definitely going to be a contender. I know the work that they're putting into it, and everybody's putting into it. So I really, truly feel that this could be the year that he's a contender up for the championship.
Claire
Belang, XM Satellite Radio. Great. I think it's really cool that you guys are just having fun. But as you get closer and closer to being realistically in the chase, is it hard to do that? Don't you start strategizing more, looking at points, and becoming sort of not that way?
I've thought a lot about this over the last 2 years, and what the hell's not to have fun about? I mean, honestly, we're not curing cancer here. We're not feeding. We're not trying to solve world hunger. We're racing, You know what I mean? I mean, when I was 7 years old, I wanted to drive a race car. I'm 41, and I do this for a living. I mean, why shouldn't this be fun? And we're going to argue and fight and disagree, but at the end of the day, the reason we got into this thing was to have fun. That's why we got in it. And it's really easy to start focusing on the business side of things and focusing on points and all that stuff. I went this morning with my son. He's 7 years old. I'm sorry, he just turned 8 years old. And we went and raced quarter midgets. And we did that for fun. That's why we did it. And that's what we're going to do here. I mean, we're adults and we have a job that we love. What do we have to be afraid of? I mean, we're not going to be afraid of not succeeding. We're just going to have fun and go race hard, enjoy ourselves, learn from our mistakes. You know, I'm not saying that we're not going to hold ourselves accountable. We're going to do that. But we're going to do it in a way that's constructive, and we're going to do it in a way that's enjoyable. And, if we can't do this, we ought to be doing something else. There's a lot, we live blessed lives. There's no reason not to have fun. So I'm not worried about it. I'm telling you God's honest truth. I'm not worried about it. My wife's sitting right there. She can tell you we've had no conversations about points. And, we're just going to go race and have a good time.
Destin,